Hi, I'm Jacqueline. Today I am joined with
Abby.
and we are going to make polenta shapes for you. Polenta is one of the oldest dishes that dates all the way back to the Roman period, and most people know it to be a northern Italy dish. And cornmeal is the primary ingredient, which you might recognize cornmeal from the dust on the bottom of your pizza or cornbread. And all cornmeal is dried corn, right? And so corn looks like this when it comes off of the husk and it's been dried. It turns into this beautiful color. And so what they do is, back in the day, we took this mortar and pestle. Do you want to put some corn in here? Yeah, dump it in here. And they would grind the corn down into this fine powder that they would then add water to and stir it around until it turned into almost like an oatmeal or a porridge. Do you want to try this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to hammer down on it, okay? And so if Abby worked at this for a long time, she would eventually grind this down into a nice little powder. Okay, so after you do that, you got to roll it around in there. Can you do it like this motion? Yeah. Great job. And so they would do this until it just got into a ground powder. Now we have these big mills that mill down our dried corn into the powder. All right, good job. And so today we're going to take our polenta. We don't have to do this anymore, do we? We're going to take our cornmeal, we're going to mix it into water, and then we could leave it like that if we wanted to, and we could eat it just like that when it was kind of like a warm porridge. But what we're going to do is pour it into the bottom of a pan and cool it down, and then we're going to use our cookie cutters to make shapes out of it and fry it in a pan and add jam on it. Don't you think? All right, so before we get started, we're going to pass off to Farmer Jeff. And Jeff, he grew the corn in your kit from Funk's Grove Heritage Fruits and Grain, and he's going to tell us all about how he grows corn that then was ground into cornmeal for your polenta. Take it away, Jeff.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Funk's Grove Heritage Fruits and Grains. In your kits this week, you're going to have some of our Floriani Flint cornmeal. It's a really cool Italian variety that actually is like red and orange when it's whole kernels. And when we grind it up, it looks like this. It's bright yellow, and I think it actually smells something like peanut butter. It's really delicious. It's good for making things like pancakes and our Johnny cakes, and of course polenta, cornbread. Good for all kinds of stuff. Works really well on our farm. It's a really old variety, so we're really proud to grow it. And it's delicious, and we hope you love it too.
Okay, so Abby and I have already washed our hands, which is the very first thing we want to do before we get cooking. And now we're going to fill our large pot with 7 cups of water. And so we have the first one here. You want to dump that in, Abby? Good job. Oh, it's kind of heavy, isn't it? Here, I'll help you. Okay, pour it in. And this measuring cup holds 2 cups of water. So we're going to speed up here, and we're going to put 3 more of these in. Last one. Okay, and then we're going to measure 2 teaspoons of salt to add to the water. So you want to grab that teaspoon for me? It's this one right there. Yep. And if you hold it over the pot, I'm going to put some salt in that, okay? And this is 1 teaspoon, which says TSP on it, and we're going to fill it 2 times. Oops. Okay, dump it in. All right, 1 more. All right. Okay, and then we're going to turn this on high until it turns into a rolling boil. Our water has finally come to a boil, and so we are going to scoop 2 cups of cornmeal into the water, and we're going to stir it while we are scooping it in because we want to make sure that there aren't any lumps. And you can stir with a wooden spoon or a whisk. I'm going to use the whisk to make sure there's no lumps. So could you hand me the whisk, Abby? Thank you. And I'm going to give you, this is 1 cup measuring, so we're going to use this. And we're going to move this bowl over here. And Abby is going to scoop out 1 cup for us, and maybe we could use the spoon to keep filling it up. Can you do that for me? Can you fill that all the way up? Here, let's do a big scoop to get it started, okay? Now you want to keep scooping in. Oops. There we go. Keep going. Nice. All right, a little farther. These are good scoops. A little bit more. All right. Okay, so let's put the spoon in there, and I'm going to have you hold this. And while you slowly pour it in, do it real slow. I'm going to stir with the whisk, okay? So sprinkle it in. That's perfect. Thank you. Keep going. That's good. Nice job. And it's getting nice and foamy right now as we pour this in. Good work, Abby. And then we've got to fill that up a second time, okay? All right, so do you want to put this, you want to do the spoon while it sits here so I can keep stirring this? Level it all out. What do we think? Does that look good? Okay, now you got to put it in here. And I'm going to turn our heat down a little bit so this doesn't boil over. All right, Abby, why don't you go ahead and start sprinkling that guy in, just like before. Perfect. It's going to start to get really thick when you get the second cup of cornmeal in, and you'll start to notice a lot more lumps. So we're going to keep stirring. That's all we need. Do you want to take over the whisk? How about you do the whisk? You stand a little closer over here, okay? And all you got to do is hold that guy and stir it around. And we're going to keep stirring this until all of the lumps are out and we get a really thick consistency. And eventually, once we get all the lumps out...
That's hot.
It's hot? Okay, you want me to help? All right. So be careful, if your spoon gets hot, then we don't want, maybe a parent or an adult can step in and help. So we're gonna get all of these bumps out and lumps, and then we're gonna switch to the wooden spoon, and while it is at a slow boil, we're gonna keep stirring until it gets thick enough that when we turn the spoon over, nothing comes off. So Abby and I are gonna work on this. It should take maybe 15 to 30 minutes to get to the correct consistency. Now that Abby and I have been stirring away over here and our polenta is quite thick, I think it's ready to transfer into the dish. But before we do that, we're gonna add butter. So how many tablespoons of butter do we need?
3.
We need 3 tablespoons of butter. So Abby and I have a full stick here. I'm gonna give you this knife here. And we're gonna cut, how about right here is about 3 tablespoons, Abby. So why don't you do a cut for me right there, okay? Good job. Do you get it? Okay, do you wanna pick up that piece of butter and put it in here?
Yeah.
You got it? All right, dropping it. Yeah. And then we're gonna keep stirring this until the We're going to keep stirring this until the butter gets melted and incorporates into the polenta. Now that our polenta has thickened up and reduced by about half, we're going to carefully pour it into a dish with sides on it. Our dish is a little bit small, so ours are going to be pretty thick, but if you want to use a more shallow dish and level them out so there maybe it ends up just being about a 1/2 inch of polenta spread out in the dish, that's good too. So if an adult could do the pouring part so no one gets any splashes on them, what we're going to do with this heavy pan is carefully pour it into our pot here.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, isn't it?
I think so.
It's going to be yummy, isn't it? We're going to get all of this out of our pot. What do we think, Abby? Do we do it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're gonna spread this out just like this, make sure it's really even. And then you can cover it in saran wrap and you're gonna put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to an hour until it firms up into kind of a spongy loaf. So we'll come back with our spongy loaf in 30 minutes. Now that our polenta has turned into a loaf and is a little bit firmer, we're going to use our cookie cutters to make a variety of shapes, and then we're going to fry them up in some butter in this frying pan. And so this is something that would be really great to have adult supervision with the hot frying pan and the butter in case it pops up. But Abby is going to do our cookie cutters, aren't you? Okay, So we have a lot of fun fall shapes here. Which one should we use? The pumpkin? All right, we're gonna start with the pumpkin and we're gonna press it down anywhere you want. All right, very good. Did it hit the bottom?
No.
Not yet? All right, we'll just press it down there a little bit. Oh, see how it came out like that? All right, let's just push him out over here. Leave him to the side. Okay, which shape should we do next? Acorn. All right, press it down. Oh, other way, sorry. See how that has a bigger spot on it? We want that one. Okay, there we go. Press it all the way down. All right, you want help picking it up?
Yeah.
Get that guy out of there. Doesn't want to come out, does it?
No.
Okay, let's put him over there. What shape are we doing next? The leaf? Okay. Let's see. That's right. Okay, let's put him up there.
This is gonna be a big leaf.
It is a big leaf.
Oh.
Good job. You want me to do this part? All right, we have a good 5 polenta shapes here. So the next thing we're gonna do is Abby's gonna help me cut a small slice of butter to put in our frying pan. So do you wanna cut the butter? Let me move this out of the way here so you don't. Move this here, move our butter here. We just need maybe until that line right there. Got it? That's great. Really good job. Okay. We're going to put this little piece of butter in here. We're going to turn our stove on. What number does it say? Can you see it? It says 230. Great. So now we're going to let this heat up and melt and get warm. And then we're going to place... It's moving, yeah, because it's melting on the bottom, and so then it moves around. And we're going to use this spoon right here to make sure we get the whole bottom of the pan covered with the butter so it doesn't stick. See how it's bubbling? It's getting hot.
And that means that it's about to melt.
Yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place our polenta shapes into the bottom of the pan, and we're going to let them get a little bit crispy on each side. So take each of these shapes, in goes the turkey and the leaf.
I don't think it's all of them are going to fit in there right
Are you sure?
now. I think so.
We're going to move them around a little bit because we don't want them to stick to the bottom. Turn down our heat some.
Yeah, that's noisy.
It is noisy. Now that our polenta shapes have a little bit of a crust on them from the butter, we're going to take them out of the pan and we're going to add some jam to them. And in your kit this month, you have jam from Berries and Flour from Heidi Loosler, and it's made with local fruits from the area. All right. Turn this off. And we're going to take our jam here. And if you want your jam to be a little bit thinner and less thick, you can, like a dipping sauce, you could add a little bit of water. Should we dip in here or should we put it on the top? Okay, so we're not going to thin our jam out, but if you mix some water in with yours, then you would be able to just dip the polenta shape in. We're going to spread ours on here, aren't we? How much jam do you want? A lot or a little?
How about a little?
A little? Okay. Do you want the leaf then? I'll just put like that. And do you want to spread that around on there for me? Okay. That's good. Really good job. That's good. All right, do you want to set the spoon down? Are you ready to try it? Okay, here's a fork. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, you hold your fork. Which one should I have? The pumpkin, the leaf, or the acorn?
The acorn.
Okay, All right, here we go. Which one are you gonna try? It's really good. The jam is very tasty. How about the leaf? You want me to cut it and put it on the fork for you? Okay, you want me to take your fork? There you go. How's that? You ready? All right, try it. It's good. It's not hot. Okay, you try it.
Bill.
Me? Here, I'll have another bite with you. Okay, ready? What do you think? Did we do a good job? I think we did too. Thanks for joining us this week.